Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Dead Cells. So, yesterday's episode went pretty well, all things considered. Well, okay. Yesterday's episode went pretty well, all things except for the last thing considered. I think I'm playing well enough that I feel confident we will get this eventually. There may be some stumbles and stuff on the way. Somebody pointed out in the comments of yesterday's episode that I could have gotten the health thing very safely by just detaching my head and having it crawl down in the spikes because the head is immune to spike damage. Good point. That's my bad. I never remember that you can detach the head except in situations where you must detach the head to do something. So that's a little bit disappointing for me. Although, did I know that the head was immune to spike damage? You know what? I guess I knew that the head was immune to lava damage because we dropped it in the lava in the cavern key chamber. So, okay, yeah, I guess I could have deduced that at the very least. Anyway, today we have two goals. Obviously, we still want to get to the giant, we want to beat the giant. But also, we're very close to completing the ++ line of the forge, and if we get that done, I'm going to feel like good enough. We did well enough. Also, the warm-up run I just played, I played to the end of the ramparts, and one of the blueprints was actually there. I'm telling you, I know it makes me sound crazy that after all this I was like, oh yeah, but it totally happened. I wasn't recording at the time, but you just have to trust me. It does exist. But y'all, it totally does exist. So I grabbed that blueprint for fear that it would never appear again. So we have that to look forward to as well. I think I'm going to take this line. I don't know that none of the other ones here really look like they make a lot of sense to me. But we can start building red off of this, right? That seems okay. I like the war spear fine enough. I think Hakuto's bow is a good item that I just haven't played that much with. So it'll be good to mess around with that a little bit. I should try to go fast. We should focus on continuing to... Come over here. We should focus on continuing to try to get both doors plus both scrolls. Again, I do not necessarily think that it's always going to be possible to do that, because a lot of it has to do with the positioning of the doors relative to the scrolls, and whether you just pick the right branches in places where the path branches. Although very early scroll here is certainly promising. I really like the animation on this thing. I think a lot of the spears have some of my okay, there we go. We're not going to take that. A lot of the spears have some of my favorite animations. Okay, show me the other scroll. We guessed wrong. This is not gonna help. Ooh, I should not have tried that. We very nearly paid the price on that one. Well, there's our combo door. Hey, there's the scroll nice and early. Alright, we want to go to the promenade, but honestly, if we find the sewer door first, I may just do it. I'd really like to go to the promenade, because I'd like to go to the ramparts. No, we don't need that. Okay, you can't wall climb a door, turns out. Oh hey, we found the chest too. Obviously it's nice to also find the chest. Yo, screw that noise. What a dangerous weapon. 300%. I mean, if you hit an enemy with that, they are going to feel it. That is for sure. Ah, damn it. Well, I mean, as long as we're here. Never mind. Uh-oh. My suspicion is we're going to find it difficult to escape now. You know what? I'm just going to go. We're not going to fight the elite. I want the extra door. We will not ramparts today. It's fine. The sewers will still take us where we're going. All right. I like to get to start a run with both doors. You get a lot of extra equipment choices this way. So, what have we in here? Nothing terribly exciting. What is this relative to ours? It's strictly better, but in a way that I don't find super compelling. I think this is probably a bigger gain. Alright, feel pretty good about that. I would love to see a weapon from the other one. Okay, well, I mean, it's pretty hard to argue with that. Victims slow all nearby enemies when they die. Just 20% bonus damage on a 5++. Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, you can't complain too hard when you ask for something quite specific and they just give it to you. So, the blueprint that I picked up was this, the stun grenade. 2.5 seconds of stun. It's just that. I think it does a little bit of damage too, but obviously the damage is not why you're using it. It's real good. It's absolutely a real good thing. We are saving cells for the forge. Okay. Do we want to just take the YOLO heart? I think so. I think we're going to grab it. Again, real uncertain as to whether or not that's the right way to do the thing, but it's the way we're doing it today. So the door after the sewers is 8 minutes, I think. It is possible that we could keep rolling the time doors, but I don't know. I'm not going to stress too much about it. If we don't get it, we don't get it. Ah. Okay, there we go. Let's get this bat situation under control real quick. Oh! I accidentally discovered a secret zone while trying to access this enemy. And you know, with the sewers, I feel like the sewers often generate a pretty labyrinthine layout, and we do really need to make sure we're getting all the scrolls. So my suspicion is we're not ending up in timed door range on this one, probably. Boy, the delay before the first strike in that spear combo is quite long, though, huh? And I guess if you want to go fast and also be sure you're getting all the scrolls, the thing to do is to just uncover, like, ignore the enemies and uncover as much of the map as possible, right? Because once you get to 75% and you've revealed the little harrowing. Once you get your Explorer's Rune to trigger, it will just show you where all the scrolls are. So maybe I should not be stopping to fight so much. You know what? I have a bow. What am I doing? I'm not using my bow at all. Oh, that's not good. Okay, good. He was too injured to follow me. You do not want to get stunned while you are being followed. Getting hit because you entered fall stun is, like, very embarrassing. It is maybe the most embarrassing way to take damage. Well, I would not have noticed this here if I had not had to hide from that guy, probably. Oh, no! The poison should not reset your combo. Or, alternatively, shouldn't do damage. Because it does feel a little spiteful. Like, it does so little damage that it's never a threat to you. There's no value, mechanically speaking, to it doing damage except that it breaks combo, which makes it feel like really like a kick in the head every single time it happens. Like, the developer's like, you can almost picture the developer laughing mockingly, like some sort of Edmund McMillan. Boy, what would we even be looking for here? I guess I would take an alchemical pistol, but also we're trying to save up for flash charge potentially. I would like an alchemic carbine. It's 6. Wow, man, you get quality 6 items at this point in the game already. That said, it does seem like a lot of the damage from the alchemic carbine from the poison doesn't actually scale with the carbine damage. I don't 100% know how that stuff works. If the damage from, like, bleed and effects like that just scales with your stats or what. This is very expensive. I'm gonna skip it. It got too expensive. We re-rolled too many times for it. Maybe that's unwise, but we do need to at some point actually just, like, learn to engage with the enemies in melee successfully. You know, you get a lot of assurance for future runs out of just teaching yourself how to play the game in more difficult ways. Why would I do that? Holy crap! The second I hit the charge button, I was like, "You're gonna put yourself in front of the claws, you you big dummy! What a terrible plan." I don't care about the stuff behind the wall all that much. I think that one just awards a very small amount of gold, and we're gonna try to survive to get a combo going here. I think it should still be possible. I don't think we got hit too late in the zone. But obviously, a lot of getting a decent combo on this this biome in particular is about bat management, which is a thing that we are okay at. Ooh, I do like a good neon outfit. Boy, I said we are okay at it because I was like, well, we have a bow, but this bow does not kill bats. It does kill those bats. Those ones are pretty easy. I kind of like the look of that neon outfit. It's a nice color scheme. Unfortunately, it probably doesn't have a cool eye pauldron. How do I even access you? Okay, I gotta go up, down, and then climb up. You know what? We'll come back for you. I don't wish to fight you right now, because too many of the, oh, come on. I tried to jump off of the pipe there, but it jumped me off and then immediately clung back onto the pipe because I guess I was still touching it in the air. That might have been it. That might have been too late in the zone for us to finish our combo door. I mean, it's not the end of the world if we don't get it, but this is one that I like to get. God, I hate bats. Nope, can't. The hallway is too short. I couldn't jump up and hit the bats. I'll just let them burn. How did I manage to not hit either of those rats with those first spear strikes? That's very embarrassing. An incredible showing of skill on my part. I mean, obviously, if we want any hope of the combo door, we do have to come over here and fight all these enemies. And also, we have to not fall in the sludge. Pretty important. It's a pretty important part of the thing. "21, huh? Do I think there are 39 guys left in this level? Maybe? Yeah, the ancient sewers can be really long sometimes. I hit him, which is not what I was going for. Oh, I didn't actually... Okay, no, the fire did catch them all. You know, we'll just take that. Ah, who are you? Where did that bat come from? 33. Well, you know, I do think it's possible. Ugh, never mind. It's not possible anymore. I hate bats. Yes, give me a short cooldown grenade. Dude literally flew through the wall and attacked so quickly. Like I was in the recycle animation for 100% of the time he was on screen. Very frustrating. I might have been able to, if I were a little bit faster, I might have been able to roll out of that, but it's certainly not ideal. Alright, I think I would rather do ramparts than ancient sewers. I don't really like the ancient... I don't really like any part of the sewers. I don't know if that's been made clear enough. I would really have liked to combo here. It would have been really nice to get access to a to another set of items that are, what, at this point, they'd be 6s or 7s, right? Like, this is a very powerful opportunity that I have squandered here. Cool. There we go. Actually got something to go off. Alright, so, speaking of squandered opportunities, you know what other game I'm having a lot of fun with right now that I am phenomenally bad at? You know, we could just do the corrupted prison and then go through from there to the ancient sewer and still fight Conjunctivius. That might be a thing to do. Anyway, let's go fight the elite. Now that there's no universe where we could possibly combo, there's no real risk to this. And who knows? Maybe maybe in a very unusual move, he will actually have a necklace that we care about. And then we leave. Sorry, I keep interrupting. I keep starting to say a thing and then interrupting it. Ooh, I do like that. I've been playing Risk of Rain 2 is the place that I was eventually going to get to there. It's real good. I thought it was a little thin when it first came out in early access, and I think that's a real risk that people take when they release a game in early access that I think a lot of people don't take seriously enough. If your game makes a bad first impression because, say, it's extremely light on content, which it is because that's why you're in early access instead of releasing it, I think that can do permanent damage to perception of your product. But I'm here to exclaim to you, to proudly say, not the problem. Not the problem with Risk of Rain anymore. Risk of Rain 2 is... If you liked the first one, it feels a lot like that now. It does have... There's a sort of a viscerality. Seriously, that didn't hit him somehow? There's a viscerality that I think is naturally concomitant with the 3D that is both really good and really bad, in my opinion. It's great in the sense that like it makes the environment work way more effective, and I think that, honestly, Risk of Rain 1 had pretty effective environment work in the first place, but like the places are way more awe-inspiring now, which is like it feels really cool. But also that viscerality can lead to it feeling more overwhelming. I'm not really sure what we want to do here. An off-color ice shield seems like a really phenomenal thing. I think we're just going to drop the bow. I think a 5L shield that scales with our red, it seems too good to pass up. Alright, is there anything else we want to do here before we leave? There are enemies. We should go fight the enemies. They might have health. And they definitely have cells. Really, really just terrible work on my part there. I don't know if the overwhelming effect is actually the game, or if it's just like, I was a younger man with better reflexes when I played Risk of Rain 1, and now Risk of Rain 2 is too much for me. And we are going to try this thing. But that aside, the danger of sometimes getting overwhelmed by everything that's happening, of things not being... When I say overwhelmed, I don't mean like, oh my god, I just can't even play this anymore. But more like not being able to read everything that's happening on the screen all at once, which is, that can kill you. That game gets difficult enough when you're late in a run that not reading the situation quickly and accurately can just kill you. Which is a danger, of course. Do I want open wounds? Open wounds feels pretty alright. Yeah, let's go that way. We shouldn't take the cursed chest, right? We're 19 minutes into the episode. I'm going to take the cursed chest, and if we die, we'll just start a new run. It'll be fine. We have these 2 grenades. We have a shield. Can't say I'm, like, super excited about that. Never mind, it spreads inflammable oil when thrown. I am, in fact, pretty excited about that. So, I mean, my inclination would be, of course, to replace the infantry grenade. I do really like having a really short cooldown grenade, but right, we can't not take this. So we're just gonna play it real slow and careful here, and apologies to everyone who is horribly bored by this. Also, there's a rune over there. Until we are curse free. Okay, so here we have a situation where we are strongly incentivized to actually play the video game. I don't love this, because the glob guy is going to teleport on us, right? Oh my god, yeah. We will root him and kill him quickly. Okay. Alright, and I think we just do the same thing with this guy, which means I am, sorry everyone, going to wait until both of my grenades are off cooldown. Okay, curse lifted, definitely worth the trouble. Ow, what? Oh. One of these assholes. I'm not attuned to their sounds enough yet. What? Okay, apparently he's just allowed to decide he's not rooted. Pretty fun. Ooh, I don't think I deserved that parry. I think the game gave it to us, but... Alright, that is what I was hoping for. I'm gonna... Eventually we are going to kill him with this. Hate the dummies. This is a pretty good war spear. The slowing all of the enemies nearby on kill is, I think, a really valuable effect. Okay. We have a pretty weird red build going on here. These are not the items you... Really? These guys? Also, apparently root immune. Maybe everything in this area is root immune? Okay. Damn it, I managed to not hit the crab with even one of those attacks. There we go. So it sure looks like there that the crab did his cross swords block and blocked the freeze effect? Is that what everybody else saw too? That doesn't seem like a thing you ought to... I guess his swords are magic. I mean, they must be in order for everything else about his attack sequence to work, so I guess I shouldn't... Huh. I was definitely mid-roll when we got hit there. That's a bummer. I feel like the roll is kind of inconsistent. Like, it definitely has iframes in it, but I also often get hit while rolling, so I'm not sure. Like, it's just that only part of it is invincible, but it's not like it's not very obvious which part. Did the lapse of the invincibility really happen entirely during the travel time of one missile? Yeah, it did. Hate that. Okay, well, I did block, but apparently it wasn't good enough. This sucks. We should not have come here. Yeah, so that's our heart, and honestly, we're in a place where it looks like we probably are gonna just die if we don't flask. Ugh. These stupid birds attack so fast. Yeah, alright. I mean, that's probably the run, though, right? Oh, that was weird. I don't know. I don't know what the hell animation he got stuck in there. I mean, I guess it is not impossible. Oh my god. However long you need the break in the shield to be, it will always be one frame shorter. It's not impossible for us to get back to having a full flask, but it is obviously impossible for us to recover the lost heart. What on earth is happening? I was trying so hard to press through the to start climbing down that chain and having a hell of a time actually executing that. Okay, so I did intentionally ignore an elite blob monster, cause why bother? I guess honestly, a torch is not bad here. It's wild that these are tier 4? Why are these tier 4? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay, that's the morass, right? No, that's ramparts. Oh, you can get to the ramparts from here, huh? I guess I was misremembering. Well, I would rather do ramparts than sewers, that's for damn sure. So, yeah, we're not going back. I hate fighting the enemies in this area. This is terrible. We're just leaving via the ramparts door. Oof. Not feeling super great about this run's potentiality here. You know, we are carrying an awful lot of cells, though. Dodging an attack at the last moment slows nearby enemies for 1 second, and they can't infect you with the malaise during 3 seconds. That's a pretty not English way to write that. The development studio is French. I would assume that they have no primary language English speakers on their team. It's probably they're all French guys. So that explains that a little bit, but also it's not that hard to find a person who speaks English on the internet. What I'm saying is pay me. Pay me and I will fix the grammar in your game. And that's not specifically to the Dead Cells developers. Any developer out there who wants to pay me to fix the English in your game, I have 3/4 of a degree, 3/4 of a bachelor's degree in English. That's got to count for something. I have no idea what we want. Melee seems bad. I mean, I guess, okay, Killer Instinct's not horrible, and we have kind of long cooldown abilities. They're not long, but I certainly would like them to be available more frequently than they are available. And now that we have a torch, we could potentially trade out our fire grenade for something else, and just use the torch to start oil fires. You know, speaking of the, which I wasn't, because I wasn't saying anything, but just follow me here. Speaking of me not remembering that we could use our head for stuff, I'm trying more to think about, like, what are opportunities to do that? Actually, on this biome, using the head to search for areas down in the gaps that have secret rooms in them is probably a pretty good strategy. That's a pretty good way to find those. This is just nothing. What a weird... Why is that room there? I mean, I know the actual answer is procedural generation, but that feels like a weird one, right? Like, in terms of level design, that's a weird grammar issue. With machine-generated text, you usually, at least at this point, can get text that is grammatically sound. It may be meaningless. It may contain negative meaning, even. But grammar is a thing computers are usually fairly good at, except English grammar, which is, you know... Sometimes English grammar has weird little side alleys and cul-de-sacs that you can't really explain to a computer. They're issues of feel. Wait, does our... Yeah, it says spreads inflammable oil on the enemy. Our root grenade absolutely did not oil those enemies. And I really wanted it to. I almost didn't see the crowd. I was so focused on the bats. Okay, we'll just let nature take its course. Okay, well, not great. I really thought that I was close enough to him to hit him with the torch. Torch is a little bit shorter range than I was expecting, apparently. How do I silence that guy? Let's go handle this dude. Ooh, okay, I almost took a hit there. Look who remembered he has a shield. Hooray! I have not been making very much use of this shield. That is certainly the case, and I should be, because first of all, when you find a cool off-color legendary, you should endeavor to make fun use of it, and secondly, it's just, like, very good. I did, by the way, press the mouse button. I'm not taking credit for that particular failure. I tried. I tried real hard. And that's the same thing as doing it right. Apparently. Otherwise, my objection there doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay, there we go. That's how we should be playing it. I should be using the shield way more often. Alright, so we found our way to the crypt already. Good to know where the exit is. I'm pretty unlikely to buy anything at this point. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I might still be interested in an alchemical carbine if we could, yeah. Yeah, maybe. Here's the thing, I'm not playing all that well, and this will let me sort of cheat a little bit. We should still be in a place where we could buy a flask charge in the graveyard, I think, monetarily speaking. This is going to be a much slower playstyle, so apologies. Apparently we're back in crossbow land. Because this is basically a crossbow, but yo, look at the damage! It's like, what if a crossbow let you carry a shield? Seems pretty good to me. Okay, hold on. This is a great example. Great example of an opportunity. Nope, okay. Looks like no secret rooms down there. At least not that close to the ledge, and I'm not willing to search any further down. Because sometimes I feel like when you jump down below a certain height, you just lose your ability to get back up, even though you should, in theory, be able to wall scale infinitely. So I'm not going to test it. Oh, that's the wrong button. What if I just pressed the wrong button? See, no oil. The fire burning on the ground is not blue. That's pretty weird. Okay, I hate this. Here, let's create a nice gas cloud for the bats to fly into. Look at this! Look at this bat, he's just too smart. He has no interest in participating in the trap. Also, grr. Well, I'm pretty disappointed about that damage. That was real bad damage. And now, I don't know if we're going to be able to combo door. That said, I guess it's not essential that we hit combo doors anymore. I would like to not buy anything here. Because I think, now that we've spent this money on this this pistol, I'm worried that a purchase might put us off of being able to buy a new flask charge. I'd really, really like to be able to buy that flask charge. If we want to have any chance at all of learning enough about the boss's patterns to be able to defeat him, we kind of have to survive that fight, right? We have to be able to get in there and be alive for a little while. Triangle jump harder than it looks. What? I think what happened there is he just started attacking instantly rather than even trying to execute the charge because his feet were stuck. And so what I thought was going to be a step toward him and then roll through was just me walking into the attack he was executing against open air because I rooted him. So not only was that probably predictable if I'd thought about it for a moment, but it was 1000% my fault, which is... That's my least favorite person for whose fault it to be. That's... Yep. That's the way an English speaker would say that. Not exactly the cleanest I've ever played. Having a hell of a time stomping on bats. They just do not want to get stomped. I love the fact that poisoned enemies die and create their own poison cloud and just spread the status effect through the area. Okay, hold on. No, it definitely didn't create any oil, because the oil would be on top of the water if it had. Okay, come on. Hey, come on. Let me climb the wall. Jesus. Boy, I felt like his attacks like stunned me for an absurdly long time there. I was desperately trying to jump up on the wall. It's not a big deal. It wasn't actually that much damage. We are almost certainly going to have to, though, just buy the med kit from the food shop. Unless we get lucky and we find one somewhere, which could happen. Do you have a med kit? Just clutching something. It was not a med kit. It was a necklace that I don't really care for. It could still happen. We could find a med kit in the wall. We could get one from an enemy. Just keep our eyes open for opportunities to get paid here. No. Oh god. Hate it. Hate it very much. Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty good weapon. The thing about this weapon is, it's pretty good. Yeah, we are definitely nowhere on the combo, though. It's alright. You know, you're gonna have off days. Yesterday, I feel like, was an on day that got ruined by a moment of off thinking. Today feels like very much the opposite. It's like an off day that I'm trying to rescue by a moment or two of playing well. Still might be doable. Still might be rescuable. Okay, well, turns out the cooldown on the roll is whatever it needs to be to make me look bad. Let's just grab this, and I mean, we may as well. At this point, we are certainly going to have to, so we may as well just go back to the teleporter and go buy that food. And if I do this, I expect that we will see a food spawn immediately after. That's just life, baby. We all heard that Alanis Morissette song about things that are not at all ironic, but, you know, listen, words are hard. The English language is complicated, like I was just saying. Okay. The good news is, if we manage to survive... Hold on a second. If we manage to survive Conjunctivius, I think we are going to finish the ++ line in the Forge. Wow. I managed to block... Like, there was so little space in between them. I managed to hit, like, I think maybe the perfect frame in between those to not actually parry either of them. It's kind of amazing, really. Oh, apparently he got free. That is not worth taking. Happy to have this. And then we're going to use our head. Aha! I told you it could exist. Oh, thank God I'm not crazy. Alright, well that's a pretty good bow. I'm actually really excited to have that available. We will not be unlocking it this run, of course, because we're working hard on that forge. But I really like that weapon. So that one's it's a timing-based weapon. After you pull back the, it's a bow, and after you pull back the string, you hold the string for a second, and then it flashes, and if you let it go exactly on the flash, it does a crit for a considerable amount of damage, and it just feels really good to use. Alright, we're gonna try to stop making... Try to stop making stupid mistakes here. And part of that is being patient when it makes sense to be patient. Ooh, that was almost real bad. They almost attacked me with a very, very slight stagger between them, which would have made it very likely that I would have gotten hit, on account of, you know, me. Okay. The Black Bridge. Obviously not what we are interested in doing. Is there anything left behind that we want to interact with? Not really. Okay. Let's get out of here. And you know what? Honestly, we might be okay on money to still buy a flask charge during the graveyard. It probably, well, I shouldn't say probably, but it may very well be the case that it is not good enough to get us where we're going with the giant, but we'll try. So, 80 cells for that. Sorry, buddy, all of my cells are already spoken for. We definitely should not do any reforging. I don't think I even want to refresh our mutations. First of all, I don't think that there are mutations that are going to be terribly relevant against Conjunctivius. But secondly, I don't know that we can spare the money. I think it's going to be kind of a close thing. Fortunately, the poison pistol should be really good here. I think this should be a good weapon for this fight. Okay, that was a little... I should have parried that, though. Tried to roll out of it at the last second, and I just stood there and watched it happen. Yeah, damage is okay. The way that Root interacts with that charge is very weird. Like, the charge just stops wherever he got rooted, and then picks back up pretty much wherever he feels like. When the root breaks, he just continues charging as though he never stopped. Which is a really strange way for that to work. You know, I never parry the charge, but it's like so predictable. That really should be my main way of dealing with that. Come on. Okay, see, I'm learning. I'm getting there. I'm not the only person who thinks that's like a really unintuitive way for him to react to being rooted, though, right? I do not like the amount of moving around that we are doing here. I think I'm low enough that I won't get hit by the charge, but let's just be safe. Let's just create a cloud of poison. Now remember, I am functioning under the assumption that attacks from directly below cannot be parried, and I don't think this is a good time to test. Okay, I like that. Just keep the... Oh. Gotta keep the cloud of poison up, and I am trying not to spend a flask charge here. But maybe I'm being stupid. Maybe I'm gonna be real sad that I didn't just drink my flask. I do wish that he would stay frozen in place for more than like a quarter of a second. Just hard missing me, huh? Why would I roll? Why would you roll that way? Is the thing. That's the question everyone needs to ask, is why would he roll in that direction? Well, it's looking pretty likely that we're going to need to flask again to survive, and I'm feeling pretty bad about my play here. This is not going well. That's a shame, because I think we have a cool loadout. Really? I can't sell the mushroom boy? Are you sure? Worked that time. I think I really like the Freezy Shield. We're going to stick with the Freezy Shield, even though it is one tier weaker than that Bloodthirsty Shield. Alright, we are at the very least going to get this Forge upgrade. I don't remember exactly how many cells we needed, but I'm pretty sure it was fewer than 280. Just barely. Okay, cool. So now we will never find an item below ++ again, and we can start working on this thing. 5,000 is obviously a lot of cells. We will definitely not be beelining that. We'll unlock some more items and stuff. Alright, let's respec. No, let's not respec. What am I talking about? You know what? We're going to be fine on money, though. Let's respec. I think we are going to be okay. So, how are we going to take advantage of our weird new strategy? I know that we don't actually have much green scaling, but frankly, it might be worth picking up a shield skill or two. Like, honestly, what doesn't kill me might end up being really important. We could take alienation and hope for a way to start a curse on ourselves. I believe there is always a cursed chest somewhere in the graveyard, but I believe it's in the underground part, right? So we're not going to be able to get this in time. We will need a health solution before we reach that. Sadly, I think it is in fact going to be just flask. Maybe we take gastronomy and what doesn't kill me, and we try to hold off on that. We try to survive through that. Okay, green mutations for our red run. It's gotten... The whole thing's pretty weird. I'm just trying to live. And I'm gonna, perhaps, unwisely, I'm gonna not flask. We're gonna try to just survive with our fairly safe loadout, to be sure, until we find some food and we gastronomy our way out of this problem. I really don't think we can afford to spend any more health resources if we want to have a good shot at figuring out the giant. So we're just gonna play pretty safely here. And somebody's gonna drop me some health. No, I don't think so. I think I'm pretty happy with our equipment types here. Cowardice. Save me from my mediocre play. It's not like I'm not playing that badly. It's not good. But like we're still doing it. We're still competing at a fairly high level here in the video game. We're still surviving at a fairly high difficulty level. I practice a little precision in my language there, because I do not want to try to say that my play is being high level right now, because it's not. Okay, feeling a little better. I do want to try to get some parries for some health. It only works on melee parries, remember. But I want to do that after we get a little bit more health back. Yeah, go ahead, spin. See if I care. Alright. I know that somewhere around here we're going to find some damn health. Oh, I hate that. I hate the ranged guy who is guarded by the low-hanging spikes. Is it? Yeah, okay, it's pretty safe to go after him, I think. Or we could just kill him with parries. Wow, that stunned him for 1,000 years. We sent his ass to the Shadow Realm. Oh, also I could just shoot through the spikes. That's fun. Please die. No, I will not. I will not engage with your mechanics. I refuse. I can't play the game right, and you can't make me. And you know what? If this, safety, I'm going to call it, if this abundance of safety and forbearance, oh god, ends up with us getting a combo door, so much the better, is what I was going to say. What the hell? Chest. That was that was a pretty screwed up thing to do. That said, you know, combo door. We did get a fair number of kills off of it. Ugh. Alright, you know what? Let's kill this guy from over here. I was gonna just parry him, but then I started climbing, and then I regretted having started climbing. It turns out, this whole area is like real hostile. It's almost like they don't even want us to be over here. At some point, an enemy is going to drop health. It's going to happen, I believe. Nope, no floor runes or anything. Getting a little desperate. Whew, okay. There are a lot of incentives. They put a lot of incentives in the game to make you want to play faster. But it turns out there's nothing they can do that will, that will make me play fast. Nope. Screw that noise. Certainly not until we get our combo door, and ideally not until we have some health. It doesn't start fires right away. I think I'm gonna hold on to the fire grenade. I know it burns enemies that it kills, and that can start a fire that will then spread to other enemies, but we'll just stick with the other one. So what would be really great is if we could get away with not spending money on food here. If we want to buy the flask charge, we don't want to have to buy just raw health. And obviously it would help a lot if some damn food items would drop. We usually see something before this phase of the level, don't we? Oh, I didn't actually grab the key yet. We're not ready to move on. Because the key is... Oh, you have... Okay. They're going to force me to engage. Oh, right, I rooted him. He's not going to teleport at us because I rooted him. Okay, I grabbed the food item and ran away, and we'll see if he chases us. Got attacked by an enemy I couldn't see because Fogman. I think it was a rat. Fogman, you're the worst. So that killed my combo, but it did refill our health. I don't care about that elite that much. Are there enough enemies for me to combo out in just the underground portion of the level? I believe the answer to that question is no. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think we're in a place where we are reliant on the combo door or anything. Like I keep saying, I think we actually have pretty good gear. I would love to have the resources to upgrade that pretty good gear. But unfortunately, I have to spend a lot of money on flask charges. The second one's always the one that gets you. Ooh, okay. I didn't even... That, unfortunately, is not a problem that was really resolvable with the shield, because the issue there is that I didn't even see the second guy shooting at us until after I got hit by him. Wow, we sure are seeing a lot of 5++ grenades. Why is everything tier 5? You know, this is a better fire grenade. It's marginally better, but I do like that victims remains explode thing. What if our area damage over time grenade did even more area damage over time, right? If you want to teleport up here and chase me, you are free to do that. Otherwise, I am leaving. Yeah, I think it's... Given our situation, it's very difficult to be upset about having traded combo for a full heal. I love the full heal very much, and I just don't care that much about the combo. I don't know, man. Maybe this loadout's not, like... It's definitely weird. Shield and slow-ranged weapon feels a little bit different from the kinds of stuff we are often doing. Somewhat limited offensive options. I do think I really like the idea of having a shield, though, for the giant fight, because his ranged attack is way more sensible with it. I feel like I can deal with it a lot better. Aha! Get out of here with that. Look, see, I'm not 100% playing cowardly. I did a mechanics there. I remember what the game mechanics are. Too many cruel, blind spike falls. I'm starting to learn. Let this be a lesson, kids. If I can learn, anyone can. I don't think I want to... Yeah, I definitely don't want to change out for the frontline shield. The freezing shield's super good, man. I'm not using it very much, but it is, I think... It's definitely one of my favorite shields. I like the KO shield a lot. The one that just straight up stuns people. We have not really gotten to make great use of it, I don't think, at any point during the series, which is a shame. It even stuns bosses, which is like, you know, a lot of status effects. Is that just the Moonflower? Hold on. I assumed because it's such a long path that it is, but no, it was not. That one's the Moonflower. Yes, okay. So now we're looking pretty good on health. We're going to be able to have a full flask. We lost our heart, but a full flask is still pretty good. I don't know. I don't want to say that I think that we're in good shape, because I'm definitely suffering from a little bit of a loss of confidence based on a lot of elements of our play so far. My play so far. These are 7s. What's mine? Mine's a 6. I'm not upgrading for that. I'm not spending that much gold for that. We still might need to, depending on what happens here, we still might need to buy the 50% food, so... Or, sorry, the 100% food, thanks to our wonderful, wonderful runes. Mutations. You know, whatever the hell they are. Tempting fate over here. Are you really still alive? I'm shocked by that. Well... Oh, that didn't work. I tried to just block his chain. I mean, it turned out. It went okay eventually. Alright, so this will be the food shop then. Although apparently they're gonna want us to do some stuff first. I don't think I see anything else up on the ledge. Get the bats to fly through the poison. Whew. Just real loose decision making there. Damn it. I don't know. I thought I'd be in the air long enough that I wouldn't have to deal with the projectile. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to buy food. If we play well for the rest of this, if we get to the end, we should only have to buy the cheap food. So that'll leave us a little bit of money to work toward S-ranking some of our gear. You know what? We'll just... Okay, there's definitely something else down there with him, and it looks big. It's that. It's that guy. You know what, hold on. Let me grab a point of stats real quick. I'll be right with you. Okay, now I'll execute you. This might be a thing that I should just do more often. Just take out ranged enemies from a distance like this and not worry about getting over to them. That feels pretty cool when you have a speed boost. At this point, I think we've recovered considerably, and I'm a little worried that if I take the curse chest, something horrific is going to occur. I'm going to do a horrifically bad job and get us killed. So we're going to avoid it, even though we probably do need the strength. Listen, we're not necessarily expecting that we're going to kill the giant here. We just need to get some time in. And yes, I'm thinking that we're just going to take this loadout all the way to him. Is it going to be hard to win that fight? this way, honestly, I don't know. I have no idea if this is a bad idea. I do think that in general, the poison cloud does a lot of damage. I don't know that it, like, if you think about how quickly it was ticking Conjunctivius down, which is to say, not really that quickly, it could mean that we're in for a really, really, really long fight. We do have a shield, and in theory, the ability to fight for a long time without taking a huge amount of damage if we execute well. Are we good? I think we're done. There's some enemies over here that I don't know that I care to go back for. Oh, interesting. I mean, this is spiked, so there's no way we could get up here. I think we're good just going forward. So is there anything that we want to unlock at this point? We could unlock a skill, potentially, to bring with us. In case we think that we want to swap out one of these ones that we currently have. Knife Dance is fine. Grappling Hook's probably not super relevant. The Cluster Grenade could be good. We could replace our Root Grenade with this. Because I think the Root Grenade's probably going to be pretty bad against the Giant. Although the Cluster Grenade might also be, because it is necessarily the case that the explosions happen close to the ground. Yeah, we'll just hold off for right now. So, at this point, I think upgrading gear is the only thing we really want to spend money on. A lot of our stuff is... I don't know if there's actually a good reason to upgrade this one. So, I guess let's do this. Alright, I like that. And we'll hold on to the rest of our modifiers, I think. I don't think that our poison gun necessarily has great modifiers, so we might want to re-roll that a little bit, but I don't think it's probably not worth spending the money to upgrade it to S tier. Because it really doesn't seem to be responsible for that much of the damage. I think the poison is just like scaling off of our raw stats or something. Because I think in general, that's how damage over time effects work. If you think about, say, if you think about, like, open wounds. Open wounds causes bleeding, but it has nothing to scale off of. Right, like, it's not... There's no weapon base damage for it to care about. Oh, really early block. Really early block. So I think because things like that can exist, damage over time effects just have their... God damn. Just have their own scaling. I'm doing a really bad job of blocking the imps. Turns out the slash attack is a combo, which is a thing that I knew. You do have to compensate for all of the attacks. Oh, this is... okay. Nope, he just elected to miss me. I feel like any time I have a good block set up against a ranged opponent, they intentionally miss. Oh, let me get down. There we go. Can we get him to jump through the wall, maybe? I'd love it if we could just fight him over here real fast. Alright, all you gotta do is catch up with the root before they're even aware of you. Alright, I think that should kill both of them. We gotta be real careful here. It's super easy in this biome to take a huge amount of damage. The enemies here are a real nightmare. And we are absolutely, by the way, in a place where it's just like, just get through. I am not trying to explore everything. I am not interested in maximizing. We just need to find the exit. That said, I think we can be relatively certain that we have found a direction that does not lead to the exit. But since we're here and that guy's trivial to kill, may as well give him an opportunity to drop us some food, right? Oh, you know what? Maybe this is the right way. So it looks like from the map there's a lore room up and to the left from that last fork. It might be worth going back for. Sometimes they have pretty good stuff in them. Honestly, victims release a toxic cloud on each hit from that dagger might have been worth replacing our pistol with. Yeah, I probably should have taken that frantic dagger. Yeah, this might be something, right? Let's go check it out. I do feel like I maybe goofed there. But I would rather have the pistol for the stage. Okay, this is just a letter. Alright, tell me you left food in this crate. You left a mushroom boy. That's pretty screwed up. I would hate to be that mushroom boy. Trapped in a crate behind a wall for Lord only knows how long. You know what? It's probably going to be faster to run all the way back over to the end here and just teleport. Yeah, I would rather have the pistol for the rest of the level, but I should maybe have left the dagger in place and then come back to it after we finish the level and just... Oh god. Again, just missing. Why give me a chance to parry, right? Come back and trade out for the dagger right before the boss. Got him. It did not freeze him, sadly. Nor did it even hit him, because he just moves. Yeah, this biome's a nightmare. Okay, we're just going to have to... I'm going to get into fire. We're going to climb up below him. Or maybe not. Jeez. There we go. That's what I needed. Except by needed, I mean, you know, obviously it would have been a lot better if it had gone almost any other way. Okay. Where is the food, damn it? That was a weird thing for him to do. Just move to a position where he couldn't possibly hit me and go for a melee attack. This is a terrifying circumstance. I apologize that I have basically completely stopped talking, but I am living in abject fear right now. Okay, we'll fight this guy from a place where there isn't a roof. Oh. Ooh. Do I flask to protect the blueprint? Maybe I should. I really don't want to go into the giant fight with less than full, but I also really don't want to lose a blueprint. I mean, it's not a rare blueprint. It wasn't red, so the odds of us getting it can't be that low. So I'm gonna just trust that if we lose it, we'll find it again. Okay, I was gonna say, I don't actually know if that's gonna be enough to kill him. Alright, that guy is definitely gonna come after us in a second here. Why is he so low on health? Okay, could have been real bad. Let's try to bait him into melee attacks instead of doing unpredictable fireballs. I think I have a real hard time with the imps just having any sense of what they're going to do ahead of time. Like the one who flew up and above us into the fireball position and then just did a melee attack that could not possibly have hit us. That really caught me off guard. And when the enemies do things that catch me off guard, even if they're not good things, it makes me pretty nervous. You know what? I'm gonna flask. Took a little break there to give myself a moment to get okay with the decision that I had already made. That's the wrong direction for that. Okay, there we go. can't learn the fight if you don't make it to the giant. And I was really hoping that we were going to just, you know, get the ability to heal up a little bit. But apparently, there are no healing items in this entire biome anywhere. Okay, we should definitely take that. That has an extra stat point on it. We are at 20 stats, which is fine. I think pretty good. Certainly not going to be setting any records. What I would love is if this damn biome would end. Okay. Stay calm. No reason to panic. So the contour of the roof seemed like it was maybe interfering with his ability to drop rocks on us. Just keep you the hell over there. There's another one of those situations where, like, that's information that's really useful that we couldn't take advantage of because I don't have any idea how his attack is targeted. Alright, so it looks like we want to go out to the right and then down. I think what I am perceiving is that the way forward is over here somewhere. You know what? You have fun. Gosh, I sure would love to get out of here. I feel like this biome, more than any other, always feels incredibly long. Yeah, they want it to be like a really epic challenge, I guess, to get to the giant and defeat him, and they've done a great job of that. Even the music kind of tells you that that's what's going on here, right? He is root immune. I think that's a thing I knew already. There's a big crow below us, so we'll just root him and... Oh, I did a bad job. Did a real bad job. It's fine. Everything's fine. Hard to imagine what I would even take at this point. I mean, like... a better red ice shield, maybe? If we got a colorless KO shield, I'd take that. But I don't really want to trade off for a... Well, maybe I want to trade off for a damage-focused shield. Maybe that would be a good idea for the giant. Okay. Again, I would really feel a lot more secure, too, if we could get a food drop, even though we don't actually need one right now. Do we want to replace... Because, like, the root grenade... We're getting to the point where the root grenade's starting to look pretty bad. Do we want to just take an infantry grenade that we could spam like crazy through the fight? Probably, right? This one spreads inflammable oil. You know what? Congratulations. Welcome aboard. The root grenade was real good for fighting random enemies, and now we have lost that capability. And maybe I should have just waited and come back later to buy the thing, but honestly, I'm fine with it. So it looks like, okay, his ability to drop rocks on us, even though the floor here is completely flat, his ability to drop rocks on us seemed to be limited to some degree by the floor of the platform that he was standing on, which is not how I would have predicted that would work. To make sure we are actually learning things about the behavior of these enemies. We have to be improving. I see that trap down there. This looks like it cannot possibly be the way forward. Well, no, it looks like, in fact, it kind of looks like there isn't a way forward, frankly. I guess this is what we gotta do. Okay, start a big fire. Ooh, I hate that. See if we can get just the bird. Nope, I aggroed the shit. Oh, this is dangerous. Please die. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was real scary. Poisons enemies that wound you. I think I like this over the one that we currently have, even though it has one fewer point of damage scaling. Okay, and that's a stat scroll right there. We've got to be close, right? We've spent so much time here. I'm definitely not taking a crowbar at this moment. Please, please show me the boss door. Well, that was that was a pretty bad throw. My strength modifier is terrible. What about the other way? Does the other way look like it's more likely to be forward? Okay. Explorer's instinct. Wonderful. So, straight through and then up. We should grab that scroll, obviously. I'm just going to grab this and then run, so that we don't run the risk of aggroing the bird. The imp will follow us, but we can fight him down here. Or he won't follow us. Fine by me. So I do need to go up and left because there's a scroll, but then we're basically done. There's very, very few enemies remaining. And hey, look at that. This grenade is actually applying the oil that it's supposed to apply. Which I really appreciate, although for some reason it didn't result in there being a fire on that imp. Okay. Almost managed to get myself hit. Okay, so here's where we maybe unlock some new stuff, because there's no sense in carrying 217 cells into a boss fight that we're still working on. I don't know exactly what I want to spend it all on, but we do have that new blueprint. Let's see about that. I think it's pretty unlikely that we're going to unlock a thing for the purpose of actually bringing it into the fight. The boy's axe. Oh, this is probably a God of War reference, right? It's almost got to be. Anytime you see someone say the word boy on the internet, it's a reference to God of War. You know what? I do want adrenaline, for sure. This is a thing that lets you heal. Obviously, that's valuable. I'm going to save Tesla Coil for when we're actually on a purple run. Is there anything that we want to... I might just unlock some new weapons. Let's... Man, do we want Fire Blast? What am I probably want to stick with the poison. I think just creating big clouds of poison is a pretty reliable way of dealing damage to a boss. So... we wouldn't use the Fire Blast if I unlocked it, but I think I might just unlock it. Let's just put some new stuff in the pool. It is a purple source of fire. You know what? We're going to put this in the pool. I'm curious about it. And then we'll work on the grappling hook some. Victims burn when they die. I mean, it seems potentially interesting. We'll find it on a run at some point. Okay, reforge. Definitely S quality this. Okay, cool. We don't have to reroll to get oil. It got oil again. So, bonus damage to rooted targets and stuff. I wouldn't want to reforge this because I wouldn't want to risk losing the oil. I think we want to keep the volley of arrows here. I think I like all this the thaw and bleeding stuff on this. And I guess we're probably about to die. So, this is pretty good odds we're about to die, so we don't have any use for money anymore. So, we may as well reroll this. Okay, shoots a 2,000 damage arrow in front of you when you fire it. That seems good. And we are definitely resetting these. Okay, what is going to help us against this boss? I think bonus damage dealt for 8 seconds after being wounded probably is going to be up a lot. Let's take that. And then using a flask adds a bunch of damage for 12 seconds. We'll probably spend a lot of the fight within 12 seconds of having flasked. The other thing we could do is maybe soldier resistance. I'm going to take Tainted Flask. Okay, we have 3 flask charges. We have some unusual weaponry. Let's see if we can learn a thing here. We made it to the giant, and we accomplished our forge goal. This episode is, despite my confidence being a little shaken here, this episode is pretty much a win. This is what we were trying to do. Alright. Let's just keep the poison going. Try to block the punches. Do this. Ow. Honestly, that eye damage is not bad. Yeah, you know what? That's probably the best damage we've ever done. Look at that. It's working. It's working. Yeah, the poison is considerable. This is going better than any previous attempt. Being able to parry those attacks seems really good. I definitely see how you could just jump through them, though. It's like the shield is certainly not necessary. I'm surprised that... Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, I'm surprised that hand didn't die when I parried it. I tried to get greedy there and do a ranged attack in between the parries. Oh, hey, look, I think we just phase changed. Yep, now the rocks part. I remember the rocks part. We saw this once before. Oof. This is real hard to avoid. It's really hard not to just lose a lot of damage time on the eye from falling rocks. Y'all, trying not to get too excited prematurely, but... Also, I should be using my... I want to make sure my infantry grenade is up when we attack, when we have a chance to hit the eye, but I should be using it way more. Okay. I wonder if the rocks falling is a pattern that I could learn. I'm gonna lose some damage time here. Interesting. Once again, getting a little greedy. Wow, this has gone down really smoothly. I mean, like, I am definitely getting better at this fight. But also, it would be hard to say that the poison as a damage mechanic didn't have a lot to do with this. I'm so bummed out that we almost got it there. His hand is almost wounded enough. Oh my god. You were a model for all of us. I'm not a good model. What? I guess he's talking about probably maybe who I was before I died. What drove you to all this destruction? Yeah, that's a great question. You've even managed to destroy your own body. My kid... Oh! Wait a minute. What is that? So he's not talking about the body, he's talking about the head. The head was the king, and the king's body was destroyed. Can you get to the giant before you beat 1 cell? Or before you beat 0 cell? Because it makes sense that he's talking about us having destroyed our body now, because I did absolutely jam a huge lance through the king's body. I wonder if he says this, or if you even can do this before you beat the game once. You... Yep, fair. Well, I feel just ecstatic, just absolutely overwhelmed with happiness about the thing that just happened there. That's going to get us most of another scroll and a new blueprint, the giant killer, appropriate. And do I want to take on a higher level flame grenade? I kind of like our flame grenade, but I guess this is straight up more damage even without an upgrade. And then also, yeah, sure. This is the same power level as the one we're dropping now. And honestly, it has better modifiers. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We did it. What does this do? Wait, where does this go? Why would there be a thing other than the door? The throne room? What, like the boss fight? I mean... As much as we are in danger from... I think I would like to do the biomes, right? Because, like, there's a chance for cells and loot and stuff. And we probably want to just do the distillery here. Yeah, we'll just do the... Huh. I guess they feel like if you went all the way through the giant, you deserve to just skip the nonsense. Hey, what's up? I'm home. I'm back. I'm a conquering hero. You know what? To celebrate, I am going to put 30 cells into the forge. Hooray! The Giant Killer inflicts a critical hit if the victim is an elite enemy or a boss. Okay. And it's a green weapon, so I assume it's a really huge sword. Combination of, green weapon and the fact that it's green in the picture. And I think we'll just hold on to our mutations. These are really boss fighting mutations, but fingers crossed we'll get to the Hand of the King here. Wouldn't that be fun? I had very little hope going into that fight that we were going to have any chance of getting through it, but things really, really worked out. This is going to be a little tricky because there's a firing delay on the pistol. I have to lead the attack by a fair amount. I led by a little too much there. There we go. Well, I feel just like... I know I'm repeating myself, but I am, like, overwhelmed. I feel real good about the thing that happened there. Oh, hey, how you doing, buddy? Oh, I don't want to be here. Ow. Thought I was going to make it out. I mean, we're probably not going to be able to pull this off. I'm debating what I think the correct flask strategy is here. Should we... I'm gonna save. I'm gonna try to get healed. Oh, interesting. What is going on down there? Something happening over here, too. Oh, I see. Okay, let's check that out. That could be something cool. This is neat. So now we have to... Wait, am I going to be able to, We're too low, right? I guess because I have this thing that fires an arrow upward, if we got that just right, we could get the arrow upward to hit the barrel when it's still high enough to break that wall. This is going to be like a real pain in the ass to hit, though, because I can't even see the exclamation point. That we almost bounced that in such a way that it came over here and hit me. Let's make sure we're as far back as possible. I want to be... Here we go. It looks like the mini arrow can't hit the barrel. Okay, maybe it would be better to try to hit the barrel... We're going to try something a little bit different. Try hitting the barrel here and see if we can just bounce it into the thing. If it will double ricochet. I gotta pay more attention here. Oh, that's too early. I'll get it eventually. Damn it. The timing's actually fairly tight. Yes, okay. I don't know why that little path exists there. I guess it's like a safe way to drop in, because obviously the way I'm trying to drop in now isn't working. Okay, there we go. Oh, all it is money? I was hoping this is going to be like a real secret. Ow. Oh god, the explosion bats. The explosion bats everywhere. Okay. That worked out really spectacularly. You know what? We're probably not going to beat the Hand of the King. It's fine. We did some really good work today. Alright, so this is just going to take us... Wait, is this just going to take us up to the stationary barrel launcher that we then just teleport away from? Yeah, I don't even see... Hold on, it has a star. Bonus damage when at max HP. We don't even need to be here. What am I doing? There's still this thing, which I have no idea how we would get to. I bet there's something really cool up there. You can see that there's a room. Why would I do it that way though? The second I hit stomp, I was like, oh, I know what's gonna happen here. What a bizarre decision for me to make about my own mortality. You know what? Maybe we should have just gone through to the teleporter. Well, at this point, it probably wouldn't be faster to go back anymore. So that boss fight, the giant fight, didn't really end up taking that long, I don't think. What is the reason for doing that? That didn't seem useful at all. So maybe it wouldn't be too hard to get it right in other circumstances. But the poison sure does help. Like, the poison does a lot of damage. The gimmick here is definitely neat. There's no two ways about that. Ow. Just throwing knives at people. What's wrong with you? Those guys are a lot scarier when you don't have a freeze. No, I hate it. I hate it. Get away from me. Okay. Ooh. It's a little anticlimactic, really. Alright, just remember to use the infantry grenade. Weird. It's weird how if you hit them first before they have time to jump out at you, it seems like they pretty much just run away. What a bizarre enemy. Okay. So we're going to get to... If we're real lucky here, we're going to get to the Hand of the King with a single flask charge. I'm trying to figure out, like, what are we even doing right now? What is our aim? Because we're not going to win. I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world to just, you know, put a couple more cells into something. And that's basically it. Survive the distillery, cash in a couple more cells. No, wait. We're going to drop down and we're going to shoot that right at him. Oh, it shoved him completely off the platform and made all of my grenades worthless. He is trying to blow up close enough that he will hit me through the platform. It's a cunning strategy, and one that I cannot allow to work. Oh, that's the wrong... Whew, bad. Really just questionable play from me. Ow. Yep. Well, I guess we better do this. So we gotta find the distillery key. Then we gotta actually make it out of here, right? And I am fairly confident that that is a thing that we can do, as long as I stop getting hit by huge barrel man explosions. Okay, this is just the distillery machinery. Doesn't seem to be anything in particular to do here. I mean, do we want to take, like, a bloodthirsty shield? Poisons enemies, bleeds enemies, starts a big fire when the enemy dies. You know what, honestly, our ice shield is fine. There could be more teleporters in this place. It's almost like they didn't even want to make it easy for their employees to get around. Can you believe that? The king of this place not caring about his employees? I guess it's me. Can you believe me not caring about my employees? Boy, it's kind of a big revelation, right? Oh, what a terrible jump before throwing the grenades. Okay, we got there eventually. Are we cool? Are we good? Okay. I'll try to clear up as much of this as we can before we aggro the spawner down there. I guess it would be nice for that to be open. You know, for later. Oh, hey, that is a lovely find. You know what? It is striking me that we should maybe change up our diet a little bit. We've been rolling with the same food for a long time at this point, and I'm wondering if it's maybe our poor player character here is just getting a little bit ornery. He's getting a little bit tired of the lack of variety. You know, when he was alive, he probably had access to a lot of very fancy kinds of food. You need to stop doing that. You and your friend both just need to sit down and die quietly. Alright, how do I access this thing I'm seeing here? Is it this way? It is. I still think it's entirely possible that there is a blueprint somewhere in a hidden room. Remember, the splash screen for the update does say 2 new blueprints, and we've only found 1. Here's a thing I don't even want. Hooray! 600 gold that almost certainly will just go to waste because we can't carry it over into the next round. Nope, get away from me! I managed to throw the grenades over the enemy's head again. Yeah, we have such a weak arm that I feel like I always have to jump before throwing if I want the grenade to get further away than the end of my own arm. Oof. Do not roll through that guy. You cannot actually do that. That's tough, man. It's the case with a lot of these newer enemies, right? That, like, they are designed in such a way that you get punished for rolling through because dominant strategy. And I'm not learning. I'm just not. It's not belligerence, you know? It's not that I don't want to learn. I'm just not. Let's try to kill as much of the stuff around here as we can before taking on the elite proper. Ow. Yep, that was a concern. God, why won't he die? I thought we had already detonated that guy. I guess it was a lot of different running barrel enemies. Oh, invisibility. Yep. Thank you. This makes me feel way more confident that we will make it out of here alive. How is that? I mean, who cares? About to put a bunch of extra effort into figuring out how to get to 500 gold. Alright, we're just gonna play real careful here. We have 54 cells. You know, that's a lot of cells. That's like a whole unlock. I have no sense yet, because we've only been through this area for real once. No sense yet of how to feel confident that we are near the distillery key. Wondering if I can just... Yep, okay. Later. Could be down here, maybe? I think they would feel okay putting the key behind a thing you would need a rune for, right? It would be pretty hard for you to get here without having a rune. Oh, God. He remembered. As soon as I was visible again. Okay, so you can't lose those guys. Okay, so we do have a sense of where the door is. This is probably where we need to go then. I would love to make it out of here. This would be, making it actually through the distillery and getting to cash in the last of these scrolls would be like, or the last of these cells rather, would be like the gold star on top of this run. Okay. And this explosion took out the enemies below, which is nice. This seems right. I remember going through this room with the barrel waterfall. Ooh. You seem like you could be a real problem. It's alright, we're invisible. Just stay calm. Be smart. Should be able to shut that down pretty quickly. Those guys are none too smart, huh? So we probably want to start by clearing out this guy. Where'd he go? Did I imagine him? No, there he is. These later biomes get big. I feel like we've taken 0.6 of green like 3 or 4 times now. Keep gaining and losing green. Where in the hell is this key? Barrel does not care if you are invisible. Must be careful. Right. That did not work. This is terrifying. That is the key, though. Okay, let's go cash in and get out of here. I mean, there's other stuff we could get, but if we want to turn in these cells, I think we gotta have an eye toward escape. It feels good every single time you get to fire a bouncing barrel into a bunch of enemies. It's a good design for an area. No, don't you dare blow me up. Not now. Ooh. I almost created a very ugly situation there by hitting myself in the face with a barrel. I did not correctly predict that our fired projectile would not hit the barrel. Oh good, a 30 combo. No, I see you. Stay back. Okay, so we need this guy to throw something at us. Okay, that worked as well as it could possibly have worked. Yeah, let's go cash in and then get murdered by the hand of the king. This run has become a little bit... I got an achievement. Ah, you completed the distillery without using the barrel. Well, they give you so many barrels. That doesn't even really seem like much of an achievement. Okay, 80 cells. 80 cells is not bad. let's work toward unlocking this. I think we've earned it. I think I've earned a giant killer. So we'll be able to get that done real quick next run, and then, I mean, it doesn't matter. Let's not spend anything. Let's just go in here and see how much damage we can do to this nerd before we get killed horribly, which is probably going to happen pretty quickly, actually. Alright, I've had enough of your mourning. Hey, wait, I'm the king. He should bow down. He should not be willing to fight me. Maybe he doesn't know I'm the king. Can I just say, great job, me? Look at how much damage we're doing. That was real good, considering the amount of health I came into that fight with. Yo, if we'd gotten there with like a flask charge or two, I wonder if I could have actually done that. That feels phenomenal. That just feels wonderful. I feel like 3 cells is 100% within reach. We are on top of this. Alright, that definitely has to be it for us for today. Episode got a little bit out of control, but frankly, I'm just overjoyed about it. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we are not going to take the giant path. We're going to take an easier path, and I think maybe we're even going to get this. And we'll see you then.